welcome to Screen Talk with yours truly, Nomfanelo. So, I want to talk about the Oceans franchise, essentially the Oceans 11 movies, so Oceans 11, 12, 13, the prequel, like those movies as a franchise. So, I grew up watching this franchise since the remake came out in the early 2000s, and I've enjoyed the first three movies as a trilogy when they were branded as a trilogy at the time. And then essentially, years later, they decided to do, I don't know if it was a spin off or another installment. Essentially, it was called Ocean's 8, which was a female cast led by Sandra Bullock. And for quite some time now, there seems to be news on the future of the franchise. So I will share with you what's mentioned on the Wikipedia page of the franchise. So I think back in May 2022, I guess there's going to be a prequel for the series that's set in the 1960s with Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, where they're going to be playing the parents of Danny Ocean. I find like that's an interesting idea. I mean, we'll have to wait and see how that is executed once that movie comes out, assuming if it actually does get made. Because seems like based on this line of the movie being delayed because of the schedules of the cast, not sure if it's going to happen. I think it will happen at some point, but again, we'll just have to wait and see. Have not heard any latest for that as of the time of this recording. And a few weeks ago, I guess apparently since the release of Ocean's 13, there has been discussions of a sequel, or as how Wikipedia bills it, a legacy sequel. And I saw a few weeks ago, apparently Edward Berger, he's known for directing All Quiet on the Western Front. He is in early negotiations to direct the movie, and George Clooney and Brad Pitt are in talks to reprise their roles. I find, yeah, that's interesting because when after Ocean's 13, it seemed that they were going to be done with those movies. And now it looks like they're reopening that door. And I just wondered with now this legacy sequel, I'm assuming it's going to be called Ocean's 14. I don't know yet. It seems like they want to move forward with this movie because with the Ocean's 8 movie, that movie did not do well when that came out at the time. I remember watching that movie and I felt disappointed. And I know there was another movie that came out later that same year, Widows, with Viola Davis. I felt for me that did a better job as a female led heist movie compared to how Ocean's 8 tackled it. Because I essentially did not like the whole idea of the women doing a heist during a Met Gala. I felt, yeah, that was just unnecessary because they could have done the same things that the male characters do in the previous movies. So I did not get that choice, but it is what it is with that movie. So yeah, I don't know what to honestly think of with the movies that they plan to do for this franchise. I'd rather, I don't know. A part of me like feels like I don't know, if I were to choose which one I think would do well, I would say maybe with the prequel with Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling because it kind of sounds interesting, like doing like a period heist movie, essentially without technology and all that stuff. Um, But I don't know what to think of the slate, the direction they want to do with the franchise. Let me start sharing my screen. Yeah, because I don't know. I feel like the part of me just would rather just close this franchise. I mean, if they want to continue with this franchise, maybe like have it with a new set of characters than attaching to the legacy characters. But again, we'll just have to wait and see, should this legacy sequel, come out, if that'll do well. I mean, maybe like assuming if it gets made, if there's a trailer that comes out, maybe that gets sway my opinion. But it's just for now, I'm just not feeling the direction that this is heading, essentially. So that's pretty much my thoughts on the future of the Oceans franchise. What are your thoughts? Do you think they should move forward with the prequel and the legacy sequel, or do you think they should just stop doing these movies, period? Let me know in the comment section. Also, too, you can find a link to my social media links in the description. Also, too, if you want to support me, you can visit my Buy Me a Coffee link to donate, or as it's called, Buy Me a Coffee. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.